What's up? Welcome back to a new video. It's Saturday, and on Saturdays we try to make sure that all outstanding orders for GT have been taken care of. The website says that we ship exclusively on Saturdays, but in reality we probably make at least one, if not two, midweek drop-offs just to make sure that you're not waiting the full 7 days before your items are mailed. Because say for example you place an order on a Sunday and we don't ship until Saturday, I mean that's almost a week right there, and then your items really don't even get sent out until the following Monday. So try to reduce that time as much as possible by getting stuff taken care of during the week, and then on Saturdays all we have to do is take care of a really small weekend drop-off. So what you just got done seeing is me packing up a couple of items that we got to send out today, and then we can jump straight into the video. So today's video should be a good one. I'm really excited for it because we're jumping back into the suspension tuning process with the S. If you remember a couple of videos back, we actually installed a brand new set of HKS Hypermax GT4 series coilovers, but we didn't actually have the opportunity to do any follow-up on them. We didn't tweak any of the damper settings. We didn't even adjust ride height, and the car definitely doesn't have an alignment, which it needs really bad. So what I want to do in this video is I want to kind of begin that process once again. What we're going to do today is we're going to try to get a ride height adjustment going. I'm pretty happy for the most part with how the car sits right now, but the fronts are super high. So in this video I really want to get a square stance all the way around, and then we can start thinking about getting an alignment. So this is what the HKS system looks like installed out of the box. As far as I know, they come pre-assembled with the correct preload and ride height adjustment, and I guess one thing to keep in mind is that the system is designed for the street, so I'd like to think that that kind of explains why the fronts are a lot higher than the rears. You know, I'm sure it's a really conservative setup, you know, designed for people that want to clear speed bumps and that type of thing. So that kind of explains the difference between front to rear in terms of ride height. But what I want to do today is I really want to get a nice square stance all the way around. So I want to close the gap on the front, and I want to maybe we'll see what we do with the rear, but the goal today is to get a nice even stance all the way around. If we go a little bit lower all the way around, I'm super fine with that, but like I said, the goal today is to get the car nice and leveled to achieve a more, you know, kind of balanced look. So I got ahead on pulling wheels off of the front end of the car, as well as loosening some of the locking collars that are going to allow us to make actual adjustments to the suspension. I'm stoked because this will be the first time that we make any actual tweaks to the setup, and so I'm just kind of looking forward to figuring out what works for us and kind of finding that happy balance for the way that we like to drive. So starting off on the front passenger side, I want to highlight two things super fast. One, I recommend wrapping the spanner wrench that HKS provides, or whatever manufacturer you went with for your suspension, and actually wrapping the sharp corners in a little bit of tape so that you don't end up chewing up this locking collar, which is kind of what I did. The driver's side looks a little bit worse, but I kind of learned my lesson and I didn't want to repeat the same mistake on the passenger side. And the other thing I want to say is I recommend taking like a brush or something and kind of just dusting off some of these threads. Otherwise you'll end up making the collar thread into the debris, and you might end up even damaging some of the threads. So just two things that I thought would be worth mentioning. Okay, so next I'm actually going to take a piece of tape here and just kind of label, you know, some area of the shock body so I can kind of count the revolutions as they spin. So I think one piece of tape should be good. So next I'm going to lower the suspension, and how you do that is you take your spanner wrench and you actually want to use the upper perch, and you're going to spin it in this direction. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got about 10 full turns out of the passenger side shock body. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to match this adjustment on the driver's side, and then we're going to go from there. So I've just matched the adjustment on the driver's side, so the passenger side and the driver's side should be at the same adjustment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw the wheels back on super fast. I'm going to pull the stands and get the car on the ground to get kind of an idea for more or less where it's sitting. Oh, whoa, that's, dang, that might be perfect right there. Oh, it looks good. Dang. Do I want to go lower? I don't know. Oh, that looks really good. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so here, well, I guess let me stand back really quick so you can kind of see. So there is the rear. Zoom in a little bit. So that's kind of like where we were at before. Nothing has been done to the rear. I think I'm okay with how it sits. I could go a little bit lower. I'd be happy to do that. Now this is the front. So it's a lot more even, definitely more balanced, and that's kind of what I was looking for. So that's the front. Man, I don't know. It almost feels like the car is a hair lower on the front now than the rear, but it's hard to know for sure. I mean, gosh, I know there's a lot better ways to be really, really specific with this, but you know, I'm kind of figuring it out as I go along, so I'm just kind of going off looks. But that looks pretty good. I think I'm really happy with that so far. So now the question is, do I want to go lower? After some intense staring at the car, I decided that I like the setup. Definitely could go lower, but we have some stuff coming up that I don't want to be like super low to the ground for, just for my safety and for the well-being of the car. So I think we're gonna go with the height that we're at now. Again, pretty conservative, but I'm okay with that for right now. So we're gonna get back in here and we're gonna start tightening everything down. Okay, so since I'm okay with the current ride height, all I have to do now is lock down this lower collar. Okay, that should be good. So I just got done adjusting everything, and I'm gonna take the car out for its first spin. So I think the real test would be to take the car up and down a couple of slopes and driveways to get a better idea for how manageable the ride height is. I think it's a pretty good setup right now. It's still super conservative. I mean, you saw it yourself. It's nothing crazy at all, but I haven't had it this low before, so it's interesting to kind of get an idea for you know, for kind of how it's sitting right now. So I'm pulling over because I haven't actually gotten a chance to see what the car is sitting like with the new ride height, so I'm gonna try to make it happen right here. I hope it's not too in the way. Wasn't outside of the car for more than 2 seconds before someone's like, hey man, like, nice ride. Okay. I wanna stand across the road to get a good first look at what the car is sitting like. Oh, whoa, dang, it's actually so low. Oh my gosh, it's way too low in the front. This thing is not even. Shoot, I gotta raise it, but it looks really good. Okay, so now the question is, do I lower the rear to match the front, or do I raise the front to match the rear? Let me see if I can get a better shot for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. I don't know if you can see that. So it's about, man, it really feels like it's squatted a little bit more after we put it back together, so it's just hard to get a good idea for how it's gonna sit. See how the other side looks. Oh, whoa. Huh. Dang, this side looks way different to the other side. I'm super confused now. So something tells me that that last spot had some ground that might have not been super level, because one of the wheels was sinking further into the wheel well versus the other. So I want to go somewhere a little bit more flat to kind of double check our work, and I think I know where we're going. Had to do a good amount of driving before I could find a flat piece of concrete, but I found one. So let me show you what we're doing so far. This is a better view at what the car is actually sitting like right now. So yeah, okay, this looks a little bit more legit. So I think that the rear can come down a little bit more. the fronts might be a little bit lower than the rears, but I think I like how the front is sitting. The rear looks a little bit kind of jumpy, if that makes sense. But drop a comment, please drop a comment. Let me know what you think of the setup. Let me know what changes would you make if this was you, because I'm actually not 100% sure. Feels like it's the same story, kinda. So the fronts I think look okay. The rears might need to come down. I don't know, man. I actually don't know. Is it perfect, or can it go lower? It can definitely go lower, but the question is it even? I think it is pretty even for now, but I don't know. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I actually need your help on this one. I mean, one thing is for sure, it definitely looks better. Super, wow. So excited with how this thing looks. It looks like it's, I love it. It actually, like, I mean, it looks good for once. The longer I look at this thing, the less sure I become. It looks good though. I think it needs to go lower. That's what I think it needs. It has a really healthy stance right now. I mean, it looks, functional, looks capable, but now I feel like I might be getting ahead of myself. Do I want to go lower, just for the aesthetic? Like, I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that this is a step in the right direction, so I'm happy with that so far. So fast forward about 2 days from the last clip that you just saw, and I have some bad news, unfortunately. So this is the front end on the car, obviously, and it's hard to tell, and from the top view it might not look like a big deal, but I actually ended up kind of blowing up the front lip. This is my OE front lip that came as an option on 2004 to 2009 model cars. These are discontinued now. They're pretty hard to come by, and if you are able to come across them, you can easily expect to paint them because they probably won't be the same color as your car. And they're super expensive. They're like almost $1,000 nowadays, which is insane. So I'm gonna try to get this fixed. I think I really want to go the plastic welding route, and I'd love to try it myself because in case this happens again, it's just kind of a good skill to have. So if that's something that's interesting to you, I'd love to like kind of think about it and see if it's worth it, or if I should just take it straight to the body shop. They'll definitely paint it. I'll have it painted professionally, but it's kind of just a good little skill to have, I think, for plastic tabs on like headlights and just other stuff, interior panels, that type of thing. So let me know if you're interested in that type of thing. I wouldn't mind putting something together. Yeah, this whole front end just needs attention. I mean, you can see the front grille is a little busted, and on the underside, if you were able to catch that, I'm actually missing this splash guard. So this kind of sealed the deal for me, and yeah, I want to get it fixed and I want to do it right because these are really hard to come by, and I want to keep it a long time. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. So that's it for this video. Thank you for checking this out. If you're interested in seeing that plastic welding restoration style video, definitely drop a comment because it's something that I am genuinely interested in, so I might just push it through anyway. But if if there's something that you're curious about, or if you'd like to see it done by a pro, maybe I can look for a shop and we can set up a collaboration or something similar to that. So yeah, I'll have more updates for you on what that looks like coming up next. I want to give a quick thanks to everyone that's been supporting the videos recently. The momentum has been really high, the enthusiasm has been high, and it's been so cool. A lot of positive feedback on the videos as of recently, and I'm just really stoked on it. So I want to say thank you to those of you that have reached out. More updates coming soon, so thanks again for checking this out. I'll see you in the next one.